we've seen that our abuse of resources on the planet is causing problems. And I think that one aspect to look at is, how do you create an efficient society based on the things that we need the most of? And one is food, obviously. And so if we can grow food in our own communities, so these micro-regional food systems that we're talking about, then you're minimizing resource usage. You have a smaller carbon footprint, if you will, on the planet. Food system has always been farm-centric. You partook of what was in your area or what was given to you. We've become accustomed to getting whatever we want at any time. You know, I can go to Costco and get a pound of blueberries from Chile, for instance. And it's like, when you have a consumer-centric food system, it takes the focus away from what's actually happening in your local areas. I don't like to say back because we're going forward, but it's like we're going forward to a farm-centric food system again. And really it just creates efficiency, but it also creates, like, you want to celebrate what's happening in the field because you realize that everything's limited. You know, there's limited resources actually. There's a seasonality. Once again, we're at the tip of the iceberg in that regard, and we're a long way from doing that, but I've also witnessed just in the growth of our feed community that you can make a pretty drastic effect in a pretty short amount of time if you're willing to be humble and just do the work and be okay with the fact that it does take time to get there. First off, FEED is an acronym. FEED for Farmers Exchange of Earthly Delights. The whole point with a small farm food system like this is that our farmers deserve to have that type of an exchange, and the buyers do too, the ones that want to support that. The whole idea was to create this exchange, a very dynamic exchange, knowing that what our farmers do here is a limited edition at all times. From an end user standpoint, everything that we do is harvest to order. But once again, that starts with the farmers. Ultimately, in order to ensure that harvest to order business model, which means when the chefs or the markets are ordering product from us, it gets harvested for that specific delivery. It's not getting picked off of inventory. When you coordinate 2 harvests per week, you're ensuring the freshest product possible. You're also working with a farm community that may not be able to harvest many more days than that anyway. You know, is it going to work? I have no idea. Am I optimistic? Yeah. I cannot look in my children's eyes and not feel like we are going to figure it out. I think humanity is optimistic. You know, we may not realize it, but I think, yeah, I have to be optimistic that we can actually create a viable system. The biggest element that I think is required right now for our society is humility. And the humility comes from wanting to create something for someone beyond us. And I think that when we can actually embrace humility as a society, then of course we'll figure it out. We have a shit ton of smart people. It just takes people devoting themselves to it. That's all. We have a farm community that's devoting themselves to it. And the people that are choosing to buy food through FEED Sonoma are devoting themselves to it. And so that's it. It's just people that actually want to devote themselves to the most beautiful food that they can imagine.